Good evening, everybody. We'll get started with the Knox County Board closed session for August 27th, 2025. The time is 5:32 p.m. The clerk would call the roll.
Robertson.
Here.
Hugh.
Here.
Theory. Kramer.
Here.
Sandoval.
Here.
Nachi. J. Frederick.
Here.
Davidson. Hawkinson.
Here.
Boone.
Here.
Weiss. Bondi. Cohen.
Here.
Olinger.
Here.
And B. Frederick.
Here.
11 members present, Mr. Chair.
Okay, declare a quorum. I'll take a motion to enter closed session for personnel, collective negotiations, security procedures, property pending litigation, 5 ILCS 122C1, 8, and 11. Sorry. Motion in a second. Any discussion on that? Clerk call the roll.
Robertson.
Yes.
Hugh.
Yes.
Theory.
Yes.
Kramer.
Yes.
Sandoval.
Yes.
J. Frederick.
Yes.
Hawkinson.
Yes.
Boone.
Yes.
Cohen.
Yes.
Olinger.
Yes.
And B. Frederick.
Yes.
11 ayes, Mr. Chair. We are closed.
We will step into the Knox Scott Erickson conference room. right. Good evening, everybody. We'll call the meeting to order. The Knox County Board's regular meeting, August 27th, 2025. The time is 6:01 PM at the Galesburg City Hall Council Chambers. The clerk would call the roll, please.
Robertson.
Here.
Pugh.
Here.
Theory.
Here.
Kramer.
Here.
Sandoval.
Here.
Nachi. J. Frederick.
Here.
Davidson.
Here.
Hawkinson.
Here.
Boone.
Here.
Weiss. Bundy. Cohen.
Here.
Olinger. And B. Frederick.
Here.
12 members present, Mr. Chair.
All right, declare a quorum. Proclamation by the sheriff, sir.
Hearing. The Knox County Board is now in session, pursuant to adjournment. Council Chair, Jared Hodgson, presiding.
Thank you, sir. Please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If everyone could stay standing for a moment of silence, please keep our friends, our family, our colleagues in our thoughts and prayers, especially those in Minneapolis today and the loss of 2 children and countless other injuries. Thank you very much. Okay, additions to the agenda. We've got several modifications this evening. I'll do the additions first. Item 5A, we will add. It's a short presentation from Prairie Hills Resources regarding the land bank. It'll be 5A. Also, Sam will add 11A for a short presentation from Foth Engineering. Removal of items. Item 3 will be removed. And items 17, 18, and 19 will be removed.
What happened at 30?
Without objection, so ordered.
I'm sorry, can you repeat which ones you're removing?
Sure. Item 3, 17, 18, and 19. All right. We'll move on to the public comment. Public comment, anybody not get their name on the list? All right. We do have a timer for 3 minutes by board rules. First up and press the button on the podium is David Amor.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, County Board members, and members of the public. My name is David Amor. I live in District 2. I'm here to talk about fiscal irresponsibility. Why is it that the Republicans on the county board continue to pretend that they are the party of fiscal responsibility? They claim that Democrats want to spend, when in fact it's the Democrats who are the ones who continually have to stand up and call out Republican wastefulness, sloppiness, and lack of accountability. First, it was Chair Hawkinson billing for stipends to attend meetings that were already included in his salary. Then it was transferring hundreds of thousands of dollars out of the county's reserve account at the last minute at the end of the fiscal year to cover the sheriff's unbudgeted cost overruns, seriously reducing the county's ability to deal with a major emergency. Then it was the chair's move to include the new building in MSI's performance contract, which thankfully even a few Republican members found a bridge too far. Now it's the county clerk keeping a separate bank account, which he neglected to reconcile with the county's books, as called out by the auditors in their most recent auditor's letter. Both County Clerk Scott Erickson and Sheriff Jack Harlan each maintain a bank account that is completely separate from the treasurer's office, but these are not being regularly reconciled with the county's accounting system, according to the auditors. In the county clerk's case, the auditors asked for supporting documents to reconcile the transactions in his account, and he was unable or unwilling to provide them. If the public is interested in more details about this, I recommend reading the final comments in the auditor's letter of May 22nd that accompanied the fiscal 2024 audit report. Of course, there's the slight problem that while you can find the regular audit report in the transparency section of the county website, you will search in vain for the auditor's cover letter. I had to submit a FOIA request, which took twice as long as the normal response time in order to acquire a copy. I'll just note that we've been down this road before. The auditors have repeatedly called out the sheriff's account for not being regularly balanced with the treasurer and thus not reviewable monthly by the county board. They have also repeatedly warned about the need to keep a substantial reserve, at least 3 months' worth of county expenditures in case of a major emergency. And during my time on the board, we were slowly building up that reserve, which the Republicans are now squandering. The Republicans currently have a majority on the board. However, that should not be a license to play fast and loose with the public's tax dollars. Rather, it should put a stronger responsibility on their shoulders to exercise restraint on their leadership, to take seriously their role of budgetary oversight of all county elected officials and their departments. And that should definitely include the county clerk and the sheriff. Thank you.
Next up is Pam Davidson, 3 minutes. You know the drill.
Good evening, I'm Pam Davidson, District 2. I'm District 3. And anyway, I feel as a county board elected official, we have all districts because we vote on multiple things. But most of all, I want to say on Labor Day is a time to celebrate labor. People that have worked to build this country as it is. Sometimes they've gave their lives because they went to work and accidents happened and they were unable to return home. So I want you to join us for the Galesburg Parade or any labor parade in your area for a week and say thank you to labor. And as a UAW member, I am so excited to have a day that just shines on me. So please join us all on Labor Day. Thank you.
All right. And last but not least, Ken Springer.
Thank you very much. Ken Springer with the Knox County Area Partnership for Economic Development. A couple quick updates this month. Earlier this month, KCAP helped a startup business obtain revolving loan financing from the city of Galesburg. The business is called Dante and Dory's Pet Store, and it's soon going to be opening at the intersection of Seminary and Main and Galesburg. Through the city's revolving loan fund, provided $100,000 in gap financing to help the business acquire equipment and inventory ahead of the business's opening. Just a quick comment on revolving loans. Revolving loan funds are important tools that can help small business deals move forward. They work in concert with existing lenders, help mitigate risk. They've been an important part of the toolbox for economic development going back many, many years. In the 1980s, the state of Illinois helped create revolving loan funds all across the state of Illinois in different cities and counties. The state no longer does that, but many of these programs still exist and are still operating, and it's just an important part of doing economic development. So I just wanted to spotlight that a little bit this month. Secondly, I wanted to shout out something that is incredibly cool and workforce related that happened in the community recently. Liam Dilley is a high school senior from Knox County, and he recently won the gold medal at the Skills USA National Championship. Skills USA is, if you want to think about it, it's like varsity sports for vocational education. Students compete at a regional, state, national levels and things like welding and construction and culinary arts and that sort of thing. Liam was part of the team from the Galesburg Area Vocational Center, and he competed in a category called Related Technical Math. And if anybody's wondering, related technical math is math related to occupational usage, things like calculating how much tile is necessary to cover a floor or flow rates of fluids through different pieces of machinery and stuff like that. Bottom line is Liam is the number one student in this category in the entire nation. And I think that's really, really incredible. And I'm hoping that Liam's success at the national level helps inspire more young people to look at vocational education. This is an incredibly important part of our workforce and therefore an incredibly important part of the economy. So if you haven't seen it, there's a really cool interview with Liam that was done on the radio, WGIL recently. If you happen to know Liam or see him, let's help celebrate his win because he's literally a national champion and that is super, super cool. So thank you very much.
All right.
So taking time out.
That's right. All right. Moving on to the consent agenda, item number 1 and 2, I'll take a motion to approve the board meeting minutes from July 23rd, 2025, and the sales tax and various taxes for the month of May 2025 in the amounts of $168,205.43 and $50,942.63, and the public safety tax in the amount of $287,883.33. Take a motion, please. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
All righty, Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
J. Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Abstain.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger, and B. Frederick.
Yes.
11 ayes, no nays, one abstention, Mr. Chair.
All right, motion passes. Item number 4, I'll take a motion to approve the appointment as Knox County Human Services Transportation Plan Representative of Joe Coffin. This is a reappointment. Is there a second? Okay, motion and a second. Information is in your packet. This is a reappointment. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
J. Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
No.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger,
Yes.
and Frederick.
Yes.
11 ayes, one nay, Mr. Chair.
All right, motion passes. Item 5, I'll take a motion to approve pay request 6 from BB Wave from the ARPA grant draw for $798.
Second.
Motion and a second. I spoke with the treasurer today. That grant still, prior to this request for draw, there's a balance of $15,748.09, and the BB Wave is requesting the $798. Any discussion? Member Davidson?
Yes, they have to have it all removed out of our thing in 2026, right?
Correct, December 31st of 26.
Oh, 20 December. Okay, thank you.
It is all allocated for that with the state, yes, too. Yep. 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 Any other questions? All right, call the roll.
All righty, Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
J. Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger, and B. Frederick.
Yes.
12 ayes, Mr. Chair.
All right, motion passes. Item 5A, presentation by Prairie Hills Resources regarding the land bank. Victoria Livingston is the executive director for the Prairie Hills, and she wanted to come this evening at our request to kind of express some, I think there were some pamphlets and some documentation that Tracy had shared with the board last month or earlier this month. And since it's just for discussion only, we'll hear what she has to say and give some ideas and what her recommendation and what Tracy's recommendation would be. And then we can have a month to digest and ask questions and review, and we'll go from there. So press the button and Once it's green, you're live.
Okay, good evening. I'm Dr. Victoria Livingston, so I run Prairie Hills Resource Conservation and Development, Inc. We were founded in 1976 through USDA, and then when that program was ended, we became a registered nonprofit as a standalone organization. To date, we run several different programs, including an EPA brownfield program that has been active since 2018, and that program has what led us to forming our land bank in this region. As we work throughout 6 different counties on brownfield program properties, we've run into several different types of obstacles, primarily things like out-of-state landowners, unresponsive landowners, uncooperative landowners, all of those types of situations that make it difficult to remediate and assess a property for resale and redevelopment. At this point, we have been working with a team of consultants throughout the state for approximately 13 months. And we have determined that this region of Illinois would greatly benefit from a land bank. We are targeting McDonough, Hancock, Knox, Fulton, and Warren counties. We are currently surrounded by land banks. There is one in the Quad Cities region. There is one in Peoria. There is a land bank south in Morgan and Adams County, but none operating in this part of the state. It's not a secret that this part of the state tends to get forgotten about certain things, and this is no exception. Through the land bank, we can work on industrial, commercial, or residential properties that are in need of help. Primarily, we're looking at things like vacant or abandoned properties. In the case of industrial or commercial, we can target brownfield program sites, and we can look at properties that are owned by out-of-state landowners who may need help navigating the process in Illinois to be able to get those properties out into active economic usage or back into housing where they belong. I am here to invite Knox County's board to decide to join the land bank with us. As a county, at the very least, we would request your cooperation in working in Knox County, particularly in unincorporated areas, if that is what you would like, or in those communities who are very small, looking at communities like 250 to maybe 1,000 residents, coming in underneath the county's opportunities, as opposed to paying their own way in. Communities such as Galesburg or Abingdon, we've had conversations with them, and they're large enough that we've provided what their fee structure would be to them if they determine that they want to participate as well. But the county would be able to represent some of those smaller communities who may not have the budgetary funds or the staff to join the land bank themselves. At this time, we do have 3 communities who have signed on. And we are actually meeting tomorrow morning to adopt our IGA and begin the process of formalization with the anticipation of holding property starting in November for the communities who have joined and are enthusiastic about the process. At this point, a county board or a municipality can join at any time. You don't have to have one to have the other. So if Abingdon decides that they want to join and Knox County decides that they do not want to join right now, you would not be a barrier for Abingdon in their participation of the land bank, and vice versa. If Abingdon or Galesburg decides not to participate, they would not be a barrier to Knox County participating. And we are asking for a 3-year commitment with a $3 per capita fee. And of course, for something like a county board, that would be discounting communities that would participate on their own. So not counting the populations of communities that are large like Galesburg or in that medium range like Abingdon. At the end of 3 years, if you feel as though you are not receiving a bang for your buck, you are welcome to exit the land bank. No hard feelings, just the request that we continue cooperating in some of these regions if your municipalities decide to join and you decide not to. Entry into the land bank is rolling, so you don't have to know by the end of 2025. You can make that decision whenever the board is comfortable in doing so. I know Galesburg is taking a wait and see approach. They would like to see a couple of months of operations before they decide to join the land bank, and that is perfectly fine. And this is one of those things that's relatively new to our part of the state. And so I completely understand wanting to see the proof in the pudding before you sign on the dotted line. I would be welcome to answer any questions. As I mentioned, we are adopting our IGA tomorrow. I anticipate a couple of minor changes to the document based on
the documents that were shared previously with you. But after that meeting tomorrow, I would be more than happy to share final documents. And we are also starting to look at drafts of policies and procedures if you would like some more of that information. Does the board have any questions? I know that I gave you a lot of information in a short window.
Sure.
Yes.
Member Boone? Yeah, first.
In regards to like acquiring properties for development, does that, you guys work with corporations kind of eminent domain?
We are not
Do you have
running.
any issues with that? Because I'm really big on individual rights and property
Sure.
owners' rights. And I do not in any way, shape or form want to jeopardize people in my district to have eminent domain come in just for, let's say, solar fields, things like that, if they wanted to take somebody's property, put that in.
No, we would not be running on an eminent domain system. So we can acquire properties in a few different ways. I have 2 landowners who are ready to donate property to me as soon as I tell them I'm willing to take their liability, because they recognize they have brownfield sites and they are not wanting to open that can of worms themselves. The land bank can purchase property, things like county tax sales. If there are locations that would be beneficial to come into the land bank, then we can buy them on the tax sale as well. There are currently a couple of statutes in the state of Illinois that are active on vacant and abandoned properties. So we would work within the current statutes of the state. If someone is leaving a property vacant, it's becoming a public health hazard. We've had a couple of communities who have had buildings fall down recently. And those types of properties would qualify for something if the municipality wanted to move on it. But I am not looking to become a real estate mogul. I want to be able to take the property, clean it back up, and put it out into your tax roll. Yeah.
Member Davidson?
I think this is a fantastic idea. My grandson lives in Canton, and I drive there frequently, and I go through McQuan, and I see a building, used to be a store, dilapidated, fell down and everything, and on the main drag, and I could see in my mind how that property could be vibrant again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need to do. We need to build our county up for people to have build businesses and want to come back and, you know, have incomes. I was excited when they had the gas station open in McQuan. It was kind of high and only stopped, but the whole thing about it is we have so much potential in our smaller towns that they just need to, have a know how to just do it. Just do it. So I thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for that. I would have just a couple of responses. So as an example, I've spoken with Abingdon on multiple occasions over the last year to address some of properties in Abingdon proper. Their Main Street, for instance, they have several buildings they would like to see something done with. And the Briggs manufacturing plant has actually been on our brownfield radar for about a year now. And that is an instance where we have an out-of-country landowner who is relatively cooperative, but also lives out of country and does not really intend on doing anything other than paying his county taxes. And it would be a big win for Abingdon if we could do something with that property that was not just sitting and rotting away. And so ultimately, that's what we're hoping to do. The other comment that I would bring is that the land bank, when it is fully functional, will have myself and 2 staffers. So part of joining the land bank is access to technical assistance with regional planners. There is an attorney who has been grant funded through IDA for the last several years to work with land banks, particularly on housing issues, but on all of the land banks operations. And so in joining the land bank, you gain access to a lot of those technical professionals who can help move these properties along without putting more pressure on municipalities or county employees.
Member Cohen?
You said it's a 3-year agreement. Can you kind of talk about some of the reasons why some municipalities or counties may not have kind of continued after the 3 years? And you can give a few examples of why they have, because I don't want to just set you up for failure either.
We are brand new, so I have not had anybody sign on and say, no, thank you. The reason that we ask for 3 years is just because the legal process can be tenuous. And this also allows us to do things like clear title. So being able to go through all of the legal channels that we would need, we're asking for 3 years worth of patience. I know other land banks have not asked for that time, and they've had other land banks in the state of Illinois. And they have had municipalities leave mid-project. And so all of that time and energy project dollars are gone because the community decides not to stay. We would be land bank number 10 in the state of Illinois. So if you go to our website, which should be in the documentation that was shared with you, you can see links to the other land banks in Illinois. They are not all in the northeast corner of the state. We do have several land banks who work in the southern portion, particularly east central Illinois. And so there are a lot of good things happening outside of our more urban areas, and that would reflect what we would be able to do.
I just have a quick question. You mentioned Adams County and Quincy and then the Quad Cities. How, I guess, successful and unsuccessful have they been? And have you had contact with your peers that kind of manage those areas?
I have had some limited connections with the Quad Cities director. They're working on trying to schedule something with me. My knowledge of the Morgan and Adams County Land Bank is that it is one of those situations where what you put in is what you get out. So the land bank is located in Jacksonville, but they are also contractually working with Quincy. Jacksonville devotes a lot more time and budgetary dollars to getting projects done. And so Jacksonville has seen a lot of success. Quincy has not. And so Quincy sees a little bit less activity, or significantly less activity, simply because they're not participatory. I know several individuals or several municipalities have asked about how the budget is spread, and it is proportional to your population. So if you pay in a certain amount of dollars on an annual basis, you receive the same percentage of staff time and project benefit.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? Member Roberts.
I just want to say thank you, Victoria, Doctor, for coming today and giving us a presentation. And I hope most of the questions have been answered. And if not, please reach out to her. She's very approachable and knowledgeable about all of it. And I must confess, I didn't know anything about it till I was at the meeting, like, what is this about? And thought, oh, Galesburg and Knox County really should join this. So hopefully we can get a vote for you next month and we'll be hopefully joining.
Well, I appreciate the invitation. 18 months ago, I didn't know this was an opportunity or that a land bank could do things in this part of Illinois. My training is in ecology. And so economics has been an interesting 18-month whirlwind, but I am optimistic that with the technical help we have in the state, we can do a lot of work. So you have my email. If you have any questions, please feel free to email, phone call, reach out, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then some information that we'll gather for distribution between now and next month is we'll see if the collector can brainstorm on, if there's any knowledgeable properties that, may come to mind right off the bat that would be beneficial right out of the chute,
And you can work with
just from
KCAP.
tax sales or something like that. And we'll share that. Okay. Moving on. The report and subsequent action items for the Ways and Means Committee.
All right, our meeting this month, I rushed it through pretty quick, our normal meeting, because we had two budget meetings we wanted to do afterwards, which we did right toward the end of the meeting. We've been doing budget meetings, trying to concentrate on the general fund, because that's always the hardest one every year. As most of you know, the year before was the last of our ARPA, so now we're really having to crunch down and we don't have that safety net to fall back on, so we got a lot of work to do this year, more than usual. So we're concentrating on the general fund. We've only done one outside the general fund. That was the landfill. I suppose Mr. Clary asked first to get that done, so his is done. So those of you that have not got yours done, that's why, because we are concentrating on the general fund, because that will be our hardest one to get done. Then we'll move on to the other funds after that. We have another meeting coming up. I've had 4 meetings with the sheriff trying to get his hammer down to where it needs to be before it brings to the committee, which will be bringing that one next, and that will be the end of the general fund. Then we'll move on to the other, or then we'll start working on the general as far as what we're gonna cut and what we gotta do to make that one balanced. That's the update for the meetings. We'll move on to item 7. I'll put this for a motion. Approve the resolution of deeds of advance. We have 3 of them. A second, please. Thank you. Any questions or comments?
I'm on tax roll.
Call it a vote, please.
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson.
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
12 ayes, Mr. Chair.
All right, on item 8, I'll put this for a motion. Approve bid for upgrading voting equipment. All right, I think we're the last ones in the state to get an upgrade. So I'm gonna say kind of kudos to Scott and the provider that's been helping us with that to get it by as long as we have, but it's time to pay the piper now, so we have to get these bought. There was 3 different bids that come in. They were kind of confusing how all the prices was, but it boiled down to this one was the cheapest, and this is the vendor we've worked with and have the most working community with. So we decided to go this route. As you see in item 9, we'll be putting this in. We'll be getting a loan for this, so it's to help the budget out, so we can stretch it out over 5 years versus just paying this money all at once. So that'll help the budget out, so we can do that in the next motion here. Scott will have some few comments to make on this and describe what's going on. So, Mr. Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Frederick. Yes, the county is long overdue for voting equipment. Our machines are at 20 years plus now for voting. A lot of our surrounding counties have already moved and have had a couple elections under their belt. The recommended vendor was our current vendor, Government Business Systems, GBS. We have a very strong working relationship with them. They know what I expect. I know what they expect. We work very well together and be able to get projects done. If the issues arise, we're able to solve those very quickly. The new equipment will be a little different for our county voters. The touchscreen machines that you're used to touching on and voting on, that voted on to the memory card itself, is no longer there. Next generation voting equipment is basically all paper ballot elections. So the touchscreen equipment that we will be getting will actually be a giant marking pen and a printer. You'll touch your votes that you want to, candidates you want to vote for on the race, and instead of it just saving it onto that memory card, it'll actually print out a full-size ballot that you can see the names of the races, the candidates that you voted for, and then you place that into the optical scan recording device. So all those ballots be in one recording device. If we ever have to do a recount or a discovery, they're all going to look the same. The ballot secrecy is going to be there, so you wouldn't be able to identify whether a person voted on a touchscreen or voted on a regular fill in the ballot with your marking pen. It's going to be different. It'll be a little switch for the technology of things, but it's going to be a huge upswing for the county. It's going to make us a lot smoother. It's going to make a lot of benefits and pluses. And I'm excited to be able to see this. We do have a representative from the company here who drove up from Springfield this evening to answer any questions if I couldn't handle them. But so if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to address those.
Any questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Ms. Biggs.
Okay. Scott, with these new machines, will they be throughout the whole county? And will they still, when they print them, they come out of the machine? You still put them in the bin?
Correct. Yes, it'll print that. You'll go up to the touch screen. You'd click the stuff like you're doing before, but instead of it going where it saved it on a separate memory card and the judges brought that separate memory card back in, it'll actually print it out on that piece of paper. And then you'll be able to see on that paper, okay, I voted for candidate A, candidate B, and candidate C. You have those who I wanted to vote for. Then you take it to the reader and place it in there and it tabulates it in that one machine.
Because last election cycle, they had a few people complain that they touched it and it was not the correct person that they voted for.
Right, those are, calibration. The touchscreen machines like that, the screen is just like any other screen, just like your computer. If you push a lot of touches on that, can separate those touchscreens from their framework, and that could lead to some of those issues. We recalibrate the machines every election before they go out. That usually solves 99% of the problems, but there could be occurrences that happens. It could potentially happen on these new machines. It could happen on any machine, but you're able to see that ballot now. Not only are you looking at it on the screen, but you've seen that printed ballot, And if they see the printed ballot, oh, I didn't mean to vote for that person, they can take it back to the judge and get a new ballot and restart the process over again. So,
Okay.
and it'll be for everything outside the city of Galesburg. It'll
May
be
mostly be outside the city of Galesburg. you
everything,
said?
yeah, we only control everything outside the city. So everything
I
outside
know
the city.
that, but, you still, when I say everything, I know you have some in your office.
Right, the ones that, yeah, machines in our office will be the same machines that their voters will vote on in the county.
So throughout the whole county,
Yes,
they will have, these new machines.
all machines, yeah,
How
everything
many
will be.
machines are there?
We were looking at 32 machines to cover all the equipment that we need for the precincts and to have stuff for us to early vote and vote by mail. And then also have a couple reserves just in case we needed, something happened to a machine and we needed to hot swap those out during the election.
And how many precincts do you have out in the
We
county?
have 28 in the
28.
28 precincts.
Okay,
Now, some of those are combined in the same polling centers, but there's 28 separate precincts to vote.
okay. And so if they're in the same, in the, like, I'll just use Knoxville, because there are, several precincts in Knoxville. So when they get it, when they put it in, will there automatically program that precinct that they're from?
Well, they'll still check into the judges like they normally would check in. You go in, I'm Scott Anderson, I'm here to vote. They'll go through the applications to vote. They'll find my name. I'll sign the paperwork with all that stuff. And that's how they establish what ballot style that voter would get. There's then a code that the election judges will put into the touchscreen machines or to the touch machines to establish that ballot style for them. There's different variations we can do to make that work. If we implement poll books, electronic poll books, it can actually print out a separate barcode that they would then scan at the machine and it would then pull their ballot style up. So there's a lot of options for it, but that's how they'll identify, but they still have to do that check-in process and they can only go through that once. That code that they get would then expire and they'd have to go back and try to get something new if they had to spoil anything.
My thing is I don't want somebody to get and vote for a wrong thing. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Grace?
Technology is a wonderful thing, but sometimes we use it when we don't need to use it. It sounds like it's kind of redundant that what's so wrong with the current process of printing the ballot out and the person going circle, circle, circle with a pencil or a pen and then put it into the box. It's sort of like you just added a step that could cause more problems and then start it all over again. So it sounds like it could possibly be more wasteful than useful.
The Americans with Disability Act requires us to have an ADA compliant device in those polling locations. So if someone came in with a different ability, they were blind, they were deaf, it gives them the ability with these electronic machines to be able to vote without any assistance from someone else. So it gives them a lot more of their privacy and their independence back. Yes, you could still vote paper ballots. You could still fill in the ovals. That'd be a great thing to do. A lot of our county voters love the touchscreen machines. We are one of the counties in the state that leaned heavy on touchscreens and had tremendous success with it. So it was a difficult conversion from going from what we've got now to what next generation is. I understand that next generation, the technology changes and the motives change. But the reason it's going all towards that paper ballot type of thing is because a lot of these other counties and states didn't like the touchscreen voting. They had issues. Illinois put restrictions and controls into that to help make sure it was fail-safe. Other states didn't. So they would have unsuccessful elections, which then makes the bad news roll and it just kind of grows like wildfire. But the system's set up that if we had a problem with a touchscreen machine, that all the voters should go to handed them a ballot and they could fill it in with a marker and everything would be fine. This gives us the option to be able to have those voters that need some additional assistance, to be able to have that assistance without having to have someone come with them or have two election judges, one from each party, come with them to the booth. We want them to be as independent as they can and possibly can vote that without any assistance.
In fulfilling that need for them to be independent voters, would we have to refurbish the entire voting system or would we just have to be able to allow them to have access to part of that system? Does that make sense? Like could we have one or two of the touchscreens, and if they needed that assistance, they could use that as opposed to just getting a paper ballot, filling it out, and
Yes.
dropping it in the box?
Yeah, I mean, we currently, with the existing electronic voting systems that we've got, don't restrict that just to voters that have a special need. We allow anyone that wants to vote on them to vote on them. So that's why we have a lot of traffic on some of these machines, especially in the Knoxville precinct. We have 4 polling locations there that are voting on usually 7 touchscreen machines. We've had maybe 1 or 2 paper ballots come out of that whole polling location in an election cycle. The voters have really absorbed.
But now with the new system, they all would still be paper ballots, correct or not?
It'll end up being a paper
It'll
ballot,
be
but you
it,
still
but-
could vote, you could still vote electronically with the touchscreen. Instead of it recording it directly on that machine, it's going to print out that ballot for you. So you're still getting that electronic experience, but you're getting the safety measure of having that paper ballot there. That is, someone can see it and say, yep, I made sure that I voted. Because a lot of concern that comes out of there is I don't know who I voted for.
Right.
There's vendors that provide equipment that print out a barcode or a QR code of how the votes cast on that ballot, and you just scan it into the machine. Well, the voter can't verify that. You can't read a barcode. You can't read a SCSI code. This one is the best method that we were able to find. It shows those voters, it shows them exactly what they're voting. It blends everything together so that if there's only one person that used that touchscreen machine and we were on a smaller scatter code ballot, that voter's privacy would be gone. This one allows us to be able to keep that privacy a little more safe for them. It gives them those additional voting options. So it's a plus. And the old equipment, it's tough to find parts for. Support for these things is limited. We've been blessed to be able to have resources. We've collected some machines from other counties to basically have a boneyard in the basement. And if we need to replace pieces and things like that, we can salvage them off of those other machines. Now we're running to the part where we're running out of bones to replace.
Okay, great, thank you.
One more thing. I'm
Ma'am?
sorry, how much is it? I'm sorry.
$466,559.38.
For 30 machines?
What's that?
For 30 machines?
32.
That's 2 machines. That's the optical scanner reader where we're actually reading the ballot and the touchscreen device. So there's two machines per precinct. And that includes the hardware, the software to run the equipment, the memory sticks and stuff needs to be involved with that.
Anything else?
Okay, so am I looking at the right thing? The bid tabulation sheet for voting equipment 2025, is that the right thing?
Yes. Yeah, it was on the board drive. Yes.
Yeah, so out of the 3, which one were you gonna go with? Which company?
The GBS, should be that
First
first
one?
column.
Okay,
The dollar amount would have changed at committee level once the committee approved my recommendation. We did reach back out to the vendor to provide us with a cleaner version. All 3 of the vendors provided different quantities. So in order to make it an apples to apples comparison, we had to recreate that bid tab sheet. And our vendor was great enough to be able to redo that. So we were able to get that $466,000 number a little bit cleaner.
okay, thank you.
Anything else? Call the vote then?
All righty, Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Terry.
Yeah.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Allinger, and B. Frederick.
Yes.
12 ayes, Mr. Chair.
All right, item 9, I'll put this for a motion. Bidding for financing options for election equipment. Second. All right, thank you. Just like I said before, this, for that amount of $466,559.38. We're gonna go out for a bid and get a loan, try to help the budget out for 5 years to stretch this out. So we're not paying for it all at once and having to fight how to get the money all at once. So this is see what we got out there, and this authorizes the treasurer to put that out there and see what we get for bids. And next month or sooner, if we have a meeting in between time, we'll approve the bids and get this paid for and get our vendors satisfied. Any questions?
Stipulations for that bid?
Stipulations. I don't have my computer in front of me. There's no refinance fees.
No prepayment
No,
penalty.
no prepayment penalties. I think that was it, wasn't it? Yep. And Robin will send them out tomorrow morning, I suppose, and four, $466,559.38.
Robin, I'll shoot you the copy of that in the morning, what we were talked about, so you'll have that to be able to present to them.
Any other questions or comments? Call to vote then, please.
Oh, I did have a question. For the, we're taking out a loan to pay for this, to stretch it out. Are we going to hurt ourselves by taking the loan out? We're not going to be paying more with interest on the loan or anything like that, right?
Yeah, we'll be paying interest on it.
But is it going to cost us more money than us just paying for it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the 466,000 was not in the budget. We did not budget for that. We had been budgeting, my office had been budgeting a small amount over the years to set as a setback. That if we did do this, we had at least a down payment to go. A couple of years ago, the board directed me to not put that money aside anymore, and that we were going to go the loan route or a different financing route to go with it. So.
Okay, so is this cost effective for us other than not paying it all up front? Are we shooting ourselves in the foot if we don't? I mean, can we make the payment, whatever it's gonna be on it, or will we be okay with that amount?
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't know what the payment's gonna be yet, until we get this back.
Robin's shaking her head yes, so we're going to put that as whatever the payment amount is. Robin's going to make sure she covers it.
Thank you, Rob.
That's something we'll discuss in the budget here, meetings, trying to figure out how we're gonna do it. It'd be a lot easier to budget a payment than it will be to budget the whole thing. All right, call the vote then, please.
All righty, Robertson.
No. No.
No. Pugh.
Yes.
Theory.
Yes.
Kramer.
Yes.
Sandoval.
Yes.
Jay Frederick.
Yes.
Davidson.
No.
Hawkinson.
Yes.
Boone.
Yes.
Cullen.
Yes.
Olinger.
Yes.
And B Frederick.
Yes.
10 ayes, 2 nays, Mr. Chairman.
That concludes my report. Back to Mr. Hodgson.
Thank you, sir. Next up is item 10, presentation of the monthly committee on the public service. Mr. Sandoval.
Your reports are in your packet. Not a lot's going on. Your reports are, you done? I'm good. Reports are in your packet. Not a lot going on. We're working on getting the coroner settled in an office. And other than that, that's about it.
All right. Next up is the item 11, committee on infrastructure and subsequent action items. Member Cohen.
Same thing. Everything's in the packet. The main gist of what happened during the committee was pretty much the fallout from the Peoria County landfill closing. We've got Foth here as 11.11A to give a presentation. Pretty much landfill's filling up faster because of that closure. So we're gonna have to move a little bit faster with opening landfill 4. And I guess I'll just pass it off to them. We don't need a motion for a presentation. Yeah, cool.
Any discussion for 11? All right, 11A is the presentation by Foth Engineering. We have Josh Gabehart and Mark Williams. Come on up to the podium. Josh, it must be the elected speaker for the group. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Josh Gapehart with both. And with me, as always, is Mark. It's a Wayne's World reference if you get it. So today, I don't know, can we bring the presentation up at all? Would that be possible?
Sure can.
So today we want to do a presentation about the landfill. We're at a really, I think it's a really cool point in time here. We've been waiting for landfill 3 to continue to fill up, and we're at the landfill 4 point where we get to build some stuff. I build a lot of stuff to get going here. And so I did bring props. So just some basic background on landfilling. So why it costs so much to build a landfill. There's a lot of infrastructure that's out there. So the way that our landfills are designed since the late 90s is we take about this height, so about 3 or 4 feet of compacted clay. We dig out from the bottom, and then we put compact this clay up as we go. We're looking like 8 or 10 acres worth at a time. And then on top of that, you put what we call a liner, HDPE liner. So this is like a hard plastic. And you put it on top of it, start putting your leachate drainage, then you start putting garbage, 150 feet of garbage on top of all of this. So you put all this in, you never see it again, ever again, when you get done with it. But this system is in protection to keep the environment from the impacts of the landfill. This piece has not actually been in landfill, so if anybody's interested in checking it out, you can see it. But it's a 60 mil liner that goes on the bottom. So what we look to do with the landfill is we really make a big garbage bag is what we do out of this. We do about 10 acres. It's going to be a total of like 60 acres of all of this. And these are 30-foot rolls. And then you weld them all together. You do a small melting of it, and then you test that weld. And you have an entire sheet, 50 acres of a single piece of plastic that's underneath of there protecting the soil. And then once you get up to a certain point, you get up to the sidewalls, and we got some pictures of what that looks like. Then you start building the dome up top. And yeah, thank you. So there's some photos of some of the liner work going on now on some other sites that we have. So that's a D8, D9, D8 cat dozer there. So sorry, Pam, this cat not here. So, but that's the size that we're looking at here. I mean, this is a large scale type of operations that are going on. So then you have I talk with my hands. You have the 60 mil on the bottom, you have the 60 mil, the 40 mil on the top, and you just really encapsulate that waste at the end of the day so that it doesn't impact the environment. So we, right now, if you would go back just a little bit to the start, so we are at the beginning of landfill 4. So landfill 4, this first infrastructure, this first build has access roads. Now we are by the main road, but you still have to get down to the bottom into the waste, into the areas to dig down. You've got to move hundreds of thousands of cubic yards of soil, move it out of the way and get that cell in the bottom started to build your way back up with garbage. At the same time, landfill 3 is filling up faster, and we have capacity, but this whole effort takes 18 months of construction to get this going, probably at least 18 months to really get it going. So we're trying to get ahead of this now. We were hoping to have this conversation in about 6 months to 12 months, but with this going forward a little bit sooner, we want to get moving on this right away. Landfill 3, as you get that cover on top, you have stormwater on all of it. You're building a big mound where all the water runs off. You have to take care of that. And then the EPA requires us to build a gas collection system. So as the waste decomposes, it makes a methane and carbon dioxide mix, which is obviously flammable. You have to collect that, and then you have to combust that. You don't want the methane going into the atmosphere. It's more a heavier greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide is. So that's part of our requirements that we have to do that. We have electrical to the site because of that need for a flare to flare that off. We have to get 3-phase power. There is a large transmission line running through one of the old closed landfills. It's not like we can just wire up to that. We've got to run several miles to bring the power needs to this. And then another item that we're looking at here is a public drop-off. Right now, the public drop-off is really just a mound of dirt, and it's really in between. If I had a pointer here, I could show you. It's really in between where the new landfill is going to be and where the old landfill is. So it's along the roadway. It's not really monitored well, and it's really just for backing up pickups too. You can't back up trailers. It's just a roll-off. A new facility would be moved to the scale house. We would be able to look at that. The staff would be able to keep an eye on that. You can get trailers pulled up next to it, because you don't want public back at the main. You got a lot of heavy equipment moving around, and it's really just a safety hazard getting people in the back there. Maintenance building is another item that we're looking at here. So the old scale house, which is the old scale house, and the old maintenance facility here are well past their life. That needs to be a place where the staff can have a break room, they can have a locker, we can have a training room, we can move some of the stuff up to that area. We do have a maintenance facility, but having everything close just saves time. Having everything there so you're not doing, taking half a day just to drive the dozer up to the front of the thing. That's really these are the huge investments we're looking at here to kick off. Next slide, please. So then once we get that initial round in over the next few years, we start it all over again with landfill 4. So you do 8 to 10 acres, you start to fill that up, then you got to do the next 8 to 10 acres, and you do the next 8 to 10 acres until you fill out. The last time the landfill actually did a cell construction was in 2012 for landfill 3. So eventually you get the whole bottom of the landfill built out, and then you just start filling it up from the top. So that's where landfill 3 is at right now, but we got to get to that point with landfill 4. As you get to the next level of landfill 3, you got to do more gas collection. And then, believe it or not, we want to start talking about landfill 5. This is the property acquisition part of this. So this landfill has about a 30-year lifespan. It's taken 15 years to get the permit for landfill 4. So we have to start thinking of these things now for the future. And land only goes up, as we know. We have good neighbors now. We want to have those conversations, and that sets us up to have more property where we are able to do extra things across from the scale. It's become more target areas now. Next slide, please. I'll pause for just a moment here. I can talk about garbage for hours and recycling, so get excited about it. It's what we do. It's what we do. So landfill 4. So first things we're going to do on this, it's about 8 acres is the first landfill cell. Stormwater, it's all about managing your stormwater. Storms aren't getting any smaller. They're not going away. We have to deal with the rain when it comes in. So we've got to get the basin to handle that so that we're going to have a large open construction area. So we're going to need sedimentation basins. We're going to make sure that that stormwater doesn't go off and is very turbid and damages the environment. Perimeter roads, we got to get around to access. And then the permit requires to put a berm and a fence around the whole landfill. So we have to start working on that for security reasons. We don't want people going across the farm field, playing around on the dozers, getting into the waste, scavenging. That's not what we need. We need to control access. And then, as I said, the cell itself, once we get down, we'll over excavate, and then we'll start bringing in compactable clay, like really good clay, start compacting that, the geomembrane liner, and then the leachate pumps and collection system. So leachate is just the liquid that's coming out of the garbage, rainwater that comes in contact with garbage. It's just intrinsically in that we got to take care of that. We can't just discharge it to the creek. We got to get that pumped over to the new system, which has been working great, and get that to the sanitary district at this time. Next slide, please. So we did jump to this. This is Brown County South in Brown County, Wisconsin, and then up north is East Central Landfill in Mora, Minnesota. So that is, like I said, you can see the dozer, the trucks in there. It's a large construction project, just to kind of give you some scale of what's going on here, the amount of dirt that we're moving. Next slide. Landfill 3, back to the back of the property. We're looking at stormwater, controlling that, getting those in place. As the cover gets built, we have to have that control in place for that. Our gas collection system, right now, it's venting. We're right at the level where we are required to have a gas collection system. So we were going to be over that limit with the threshold of waste that we brought in. So the landfill gas collection system is, you have your mound of garbage, you drill extraction wells, and you really put a vacuum on that. And you start all landfills are under vacuum. So they're sucking all of that landfill gas up, taking it to a flare and combusting it. That way it doesn't just go into the environment. We're actually destroying that methane gas. And then on top of that, you put the final cover so that no more rainwater can come in and penetrate that. And so you can protect the environment. And this is this one. This is a picture of a much better public drop-off than what we have here. It's definitely, the main thing that we're looking for is just Rodney and the staff to have visibility over that. So you have the visibility, you can direct people where to go much easier. And the trailers, the more you can keep the public out of the back area, the safer everybody is. It's just not normal for people come out to the landfill once every couple of years, maybe, on normal residents do. And it's just really tough and confusing of where things go. And I don't know what I'm going to do. This keeps people back. Other options with this, you can start to have, we call it the waste hierarchy. So you can have a recycling bin drop off, you can have a white goods drop off, you can have then the garbage at the end. So you can kind of help people separate those things in the right places they go. So that definitely is a thing to help reduce the airspace usage for the future. And next slide. So this is the slide here. So this is our construction estimates. And we get going in 25. We want to bid it out in 25 so we can try to get that early construction season and get this going with some of our preferred vendors that we like, that we've done some work. We make sure everybody knows it'll be publicly made available. We start construction in 26 of all of these items. We get into 27 with the next phases of that construction. And we're looking at about $16 million in spend in those first 3 years is what we're really looking to spend on this. Then we take a break. We get our design going. We see how our waste is, how things are filling up. We have those projections, but how are we actually doing it? Then in 2032 and beyond, now we're looking at that next phase, as I said. So once you start filling up, and you can't just take your garbage, put 8 acres, and then put a vertical wall of garbage. You have to have it slope back and safe so that the public and everyone in there is not endangered by that garbage when it comes back. We all know costs are up. We've got 20% contingency on some of these. We have seen those contingencies getting eaten up really quick year over year, 6 months over 6 months. In the plastic industry, we've gotten bids that you have to sign them in 8 days or it's gonna go up 25%. Like that's just kind of how some of this goes. As we know, prices are going up. And so that's another reason why we're wanting to get the best pricing we can as soon as we can on these.
Landfill 3 will be filled 27, 28. That's
Yep.
also why.
Current projections based off of the additional waste that's coming in, the faction we're getting, we're looking at about 27, 28 on this. Next slide, please. I think that's it. So I'll step back. Definitely I'm sure you have lots of questions. This is the first presentation, I think, to the board of kind of the larger picture of all of this. Rod's going to have a lot more coming to you on some other things as we go along, but really just planning this to really prepare you. Like $16 million is a lot of money to spend over a few years, but it's for the landfill to continue to operate. This is how landfills are operated. You have to build this infrastructure to accept more waste. I'll leave it there, Rod, if there's anything else I left out.
Didn't want to do. After landfill 3 is closed, it's just part of what happens.
Yep.
We have to do testing 35 years before that'll officially be 100% closed and made into a golf course or something crazy.
Yeah, so from the minute you accept your last load into the landfill, you start spending money and you have no money coming in. So that waste that you accept in the fund you have a minimum of 30 years that you have to monitor for gas, for groundwater, and that's just a minimum. That's just the EPA even allows you to get into closure. You have to prove that you're not going to need to do monitoring. You're going to need to do gas collection at that point in time. Not many places have done that.
We'd still be spending money on landfill 1 and 2 that I don't know if the EPA will ever officially close. It is not a modern landfill. God knows what's buried in there. It was done in trenches, which is a crazy way to do it in Illinois. That's made to do very dry Texas and they don't do it like that anymore anyhow.
Yeah, a lot of the old operators in multiple landfills, the trench method, you'd go down until you got the groundwater because you couldn't dig anymore and you start putting garbage in it. That's why we have the rules we have in the day. That's what, we've been in those better rules to mitigate that. And back in that day, you'd say they'd fill up a trench and they'd light it on fire. So then you have a lot more trench to deal with. So like this is the rule evolution that we have. So yeah, it's definitely, there's a lot of expenses through the life of a landfill once you stop accepting waste.
I have 2 questions.
Yep.
How much, I know it's submitted in the reports monthly, but just so everybody has that idea, how much more trash or refuse have we received?
About
With
20,
the-
30,
Wow. since
It
Peoria
goes
closure.
up, like right now, it's demo season, you see a lot more. Had several really big projects, that we're doing 500 tons a day. But it's pretty much started in about end of October last year. I don't think people believed Peoria would close. They thought they would come up with some alternative, and they haven't. And from my knowledge, what I've seen, Peoria's not gonna open for 10 years. They'll do transfer stations, but that's limited and some other things. And that transfer station's gotta come from somewhere. What I've seen more than even like more GFL trucks, and everything else, and we've seen a few, it's just a ton of small loads. You know, $50, $60, but it all adds up. The big difference is instead of doing 75, 80 trucks, we're doing 100 to 115 trucks.
And my last question is, from the word go to start the next phase of landfill 4, what would be the timeline for significant completion where it would be usable at this rate right now? If
Our goal-
landfill 3 is only good for 26, 27, obviously.
Yeah, I
time.
would say that our go would probably significant completion, we could get close to it at the end of the construction season next year. So let's say October, November of next year. I would say your full operation and being able to use it would be in the summer of the following year, because you have permitting. Once you build it, you have to provide data to EPA to get operational permit authority of that too. And that's 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
But that's if everything goes perfectly fine, I will say, right?
Still waiting on the final permit.
Yes, so Mark talked to the permit reviewers today. The way the Bureau is set up, the permit section has groundwater and the land group. The land group has approved it. The groundwater section has approved it. It's sitting on the permit section manager's desk for signature right now. We were supposed to have it by the beginning of September, right in the first couple of days of September, which we're right there, so.
Unless he sees something that he wants to extend.
Yep.
So, what I heard today, they're good with it, but it's on his desk and his decision. So they're all hoping that it gets.
Might make a phone call.
And then like Josh said, this is something we thought we'd bring up 6 months. Probably, I thought about this time next year, to be honest. We also thought we'd have phase 3 power, because we thought Amorisco, but it's basically the EPA said no, or not the EPA. Ameren said no on that. We would just kind of piggyback off of them for 3-phase power, or else we'd probably, I truly believe that's, and so did Amorisco, that we would get. And that would take money and time and effort off the.
All right, Member Davidson.
Personally, as being chair and remember when 3 came in and working with you with Foth, we cannot say no. I mean, this is something that is going to be a well-needed thing for our county, and now we know surrounding counties like Peoria and people that are close. Landfills close all the time. I remember getting training for Rob in Wisconsin and different things. But one of the best things, we need a maintenance thing where they could have showers. They come out grubby and everything, and they would have to come into the weigh scale and go down in the basement. That shouldn't happen. That weigh scale and making a U-turn and you're in a semi, that shouldn't happen. We need the updates. We definitely need the updates, and we should have bins or whatever you might call them, trailers, for people can come in there and not go in the back and drive and get nails in their tires and all that. But they need color-coded understanding what is recyclable, what is this. We don't have those in Galesburg, those 2 pickups in the spring, in the fall anymore. And calling, that doesn't happen. They dump stuff on the side of our highways. So we need this. We cannot say no. I say no on a lot of things, but I'm not saying no on this, because it is the backbone to our county, that landfill. And it's been financially and the best in surrounding counties. So please people, do not say no.
Any other questions for,
I think one thing that needs to be brought up is the county has always done a spectacular job of keeping costs down. We're gonna have to raise our rates significantly. At the very least, for what we do, whatever the bond comes out at, 20 years, 30 years, however you pay it, you're gonna have to raise it what your yearly payment is. I'm guessing it'll be at least 20 bucks a ton just for that. And it just has to be done. The county's done a great job of doing it. It's hard to get an exact price, especially if I call, they see the caller ID, or if you call and ask for price, sometimes they send you to salesman, then they want a lot of background, because, I mean, my knowledge of Peoria, at the end, you're gonna bring in what would be a $12 load for us as a $90. And one of the reasons is they don't want those small ones. But again, we've done a great job for years, but unfortunately, we're gonna have to raise our rates substantially.
Yeah, and I can confirm too, like your current rate is significantly lower than other surrounding landfills in the area. Which those landfills have done construction projects to get that raised up, so.
okay. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you all. We'll hopefully be seeing you soon with more information. Thank you.
All right. Sam, back to you.
Next, we're moving on to item 12. I'll make them in a form of a motion. Approve payment of invoice for jail laundry and medical project draw number 10 for $5,679.08. This is kind of what we've been seeing for the last while. They've been working on the laundry and medical area of the jail. If you've done a tour of it, you know the rooms are kind of next to each other. Outside of that, I think this is draw, 10. So we've been doing this for a while. Any other questions on this specifically, though? Okay, can we call a vote?
All righty, Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer. Yes. Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
No.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger, and Brian Frederick.
Yes.
11 ayes, 1 nay, Mr. Chair.
Next, we have item 13. I'll make this in the form of a motion. Approve payment of invoice for Mary Davis Home Project Draw Number 2 for $343,000, $765.01. Second. So once again, with this one, this is for the work already completed at the Mary Davis Home. This is draw number 2, like last month with draw number 1. I guess any questions about this specifically?
Just to comment on this is this is majority for the roofing and any engineering costs that have incurred for getting the project ready to go. A lot of this work was completed before the work was paused or was in the middle of it. Correct.
Can the clerk call the roll?
All righty, Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yeah.
Kramer.
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
No.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
11 ayes, 1 nay, Mr. Chair.
Perfect. Moving on to item 14. I'll make this in a form of a motion. Approve payment for nursing home solar project, draw number 2 for $687,923.04. Perfect. I always forget, Josh. Thank you. This is draw number 2, same draw as last time. I guess any questions on this specifically? Seeing none. Scott?
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
No.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
11 ayes, 1 nay, Mr. Chair.
And last item, moving on to item 15, I'll make this in the form of a motion. Approve software purchases, single sign-on, multi-factor authentication, and sensible data compliance. Is this something we have to read? I guess is my first question. No. Everyone should have seen this. Yep, perfect. Ah, damn it. Oh, this is why Bob does this. But I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about, but for the most part, it is just setting a rule that we are going to need a multi-factor authentication on most technical data going forward just for security purposes. Super unfun, no one really likes it, but really everyone knows we need to use it for everything. I guess any questions on this one?
Right, again, we're not purchasing anything, it's just a resolution to establish the procedure for programming going forward.
Seeing none, clerk?
Hudson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer. Yes. Sandoval,
Yes.
J. Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger, and B. Frederick.
Yes.
12 ayes, Mr. Chair.
Nothing else on our end.
All right, next up is the item 16 and subsequent action items for the Health and Human Services Committee. Member Kramer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Monthly report is in the board packet. We removed items 17, 18, and 19. So item 20, I'll make this in the form of a motion, approve reappointment of Sonia Hochletter as the Chief County Assessor starting September 1, 2025.
Second.
Thank you. This is just approving Sonia as being the county assessor. This doesn't include any contractual negotiations that are currently going forward. So that's just making sure that she has the title so that all reimbursements come from the state. Does anybody have any questions? Seeing none, clerk, call the roll, please.
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer.
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
J. Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger,
Yes.
and B. Frederick.
No.
12 ayes, 1 nay, no abstention, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. That concludes my report. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, next up is the reports from the external committees. Those that have submitted reports are in the board packet. If you have questions, please reach out to those assigned board members for the responsible committees. And item 21, I'll take a motion to approve opening the budget for line item changes.
Second.
Any discussion on that approval? Call the roll, please.
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer.
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
J. Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson, Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger,
Yes.
and B. Frederick.
Yes.
12 ayes, Mr. Chair.
All right, motion passes. The items for budget changes are in your packet. There's several, but nothing stands out that was discussed at the committee meetings. Any questions on those budget items? All right, I'll take a motion to approve those line item changes.
Second.
All right, any questions, discussion? Call the roll, please.
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer.
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
J. Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger, and B. Frederick.
Yes.
12 ayes, Mr. Chair.
All right, motion passes. Item 24, the review of the manual checks issued for the current cycle. The typical manual checks, as well as there's several additions in there for, what I'm guessing, jury pay. Is that accurate? Is it probably? Okay. Any questions or discussion on those manual checks for mid-cycle? All right. Next up is item 25. Take a motion to approve claims by members for per diem and mileage for the committee meetings. of August twenty twenty-five, board meeting in July, and other claims for per diem from meetings in the amount of $3,236.60. I'll take a motion, please. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
Robertson.
Yes.
Pugh.
Yes.
Theory.
Yeah.
Kramer.
Yes.
Sandoval.
Yes.
J. Frederick.
Yes.
Davidson.
Yes.
Hawkinson.
Yes.
Boone.
Yes.
Cullen.
Yes.
Olinger. And B. Frederick.
Yes.
12 ayes, Mr. Chair.
All right, motion passes. Item 26, I'll take a motion to approve claims against Knox County, Illinois for the period of July 24th, 2025 through August 27th, 2025. Ordering that invoices be accepted and approved, and the county clerk and county treasurer be authorized and directed to issue the county warrants in payment of the bills in the aggregate amount approved by the county board in the amount of $3,976,096.77. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there a discussion? Member Davidson.
During our safety committee, the veterans had several false alarms. Did you check in on that?
Yep, already talked to them and they moved the panic alarms. They were in bad spots, so they already took care of that.
Okay,
They were bumping them, so.
all right. Nice to tell us.
All right. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Robertson.
Yes.
Pugh.
Yes.
Theory.
Yes.
Kramer.
Yes.
Sandoval.
Yes.
J. Frederick.
Yes.
Davidson.
Yes.
Hawkinson.
Yes.
Boone. Cullen.
Yes.
Olinger. And B. Frederick.
Yes.
12 ayes, Mr. Chair.
All right, motion passes. The next regular meeting is Wednesday, September 24th, 2025, 6 p.m. right here at City Hall Council Chambers. I'll take a motion to adjourn. Sandoval. Is there a second?
Second.
Boone. All right, all those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, say nay. We are adjourned at 7:22.